Cadre. Today we will be using Stirling Hipster. This was part of the package for the Shaving Cadre 2nd anniversary. I think they just decided on a scent that they thought a lot of people would like. Gave them a good deal about it. I used it once. It's good soap. It's I would classify it as one of those that, like, I think a little pasty. Let's see. Let's add some water. It wouldn't be polarizing. So I know a few folks didn't like it, but it's easy to get along with. But I didn't use the aftershave last time. Came with this. So I just opened this today, so we'll slather that on afterwards. And I'm going to be using my Feather SS, which is nothing new there, but I've got a Feather Pro, no guard, blade in it. Just Feather Pro. Seeing if we can get along. Just because the Pro guards I'm getting low on. And I thought maybe it'd be a bit of a challenge. I got one shave on this. When I did it, it felt a little close. I didn't have any alum stinging, but kind of, I don't know if you know what I mean, for most of the day. I had that kind of, I don't know, not a sunburn, but kind of like you're just a touch tender, like, you know, that a little something happened to your skin. But anyway, the next day was fine. If you saw, I had a little stutter here, which is weird. That never happens with the Pro Guard. It happened all the time with regular straights. That's one of my frustrations with using straights. I'm trying to be very conscious of not worrying about using any width of the blade, just using little on the curves, just the front of it, the toe. So it's Friday, and what, I don't know what time it is. I think it's between 8 and 9, I think. And obviously I'm not at work. Cadre Friday, y'all. I mentioned I have to keep burning up my PTO to not max it out. And already had this day scheduled off. My sister and her family were supposed to come down. Waiting for the blood. Felt like I cut myself on the Adam's apple there. Jeez, what am I doing? I feel like it's gonna start gushing. Anyway, let's stay away from there. I don't know what I was doing. It's always risky to go right over the Adam's apple. Sometimes I can do it, but not smart with this blade, I'll tell you that. Anyway, not a good time for people to be traveling at all. So it's, on my weekends, especially long weekends, I try to do a day of errands and tasks and get them out of the way so I can kind of feel like I don't have to do anything the other day. So, but got time for a nice slow shave here. Got to get the car charged up. Got to make a run to the mailbox. a good pass, right? Ooh. So the one thing I do, see, there it comes. There she comes. I knew I got a slicer right on the Adam's apple there. So this will be good. If nothing else, this will give me better technique. So I don't mind the little loss of fluids there. It's a gross. Turn away, don't watch. These images may be disturbing to some viewers. Believe it or not, you can't tell from me now, but I used to work out pretty hardcore. Oh, man. I'm going to have to get out the old styptic, I think. I used to work out 2 times a day back in the day. And not just back in college days, not that, about 8 years ago. That all came to a screeching halt when I tore my bicep working out. I was doing something a guy my age shouldn't have been doing. Worrying about stuff guys my age shouldn't have been worried about. Wanting to balance one side of my bicep with the, balance my biceps with my triceps. Anyway, I'm not, as evidenced by my fragrance collection and soap collection and brush collection, and I'm kind of an all or nothing kind of person in a lot of things. So I would push the heck out of myself, but then once you've got to dial it back down and basically do some rehab and stuff. I'm not good at that. It's like, well, if I can't push it and go 110%, then that's no fun. Where was I going with this? I don't even remember what I was going to talk about. About the blood leaving the... So there used to be a saying. I'm trying to remember what my favorite one was. I've tried to look it up a few times. Since then, on the wall of the gym, it used to say, like, what was it? Something from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Something like, I don't need to prove myself. Showing up is my proof. It's just a matter of how much I'm going to let pain and something hold me back or something. But basically, like, you made it here, so I gotta... More so with this in the Pro Guard. The Pro Guard is more forgiving. It's the little stops. Like Barbara Day was preaching, don't touch it to your skin and go. You can get away with that a little bit with the Pro Guard. That's what caused this down here. Is the blade not being in motion. I'm going to hit my neck. Another object lesson. You learn so much from my videos. You're welcome. So anyway, that's what I'm saying is that nobody likes to cut themselves. This is going to be a pain to deal with. I have to get it stopped and stuff. But I'm learning a lesson. It didn't kill me. I just thought of another thing. So one of the other things I always used to see in the gym or about working out is like pain is just weakness leaving your body. I always liked that because, man, if you want to work out hard, you got to like be, I don't know. It seems silly to talk about if you're not into it, but you got to kind of embrace that. Get yourself pumped up. Crank up the music and it starts to hurt. You just, there's a reason for that grunting and stuff. That's not showing off. That is just like getting your hormones going and making your body do what it doesn't want to do. Man, it makes me want to get back to the gym. No, I'm not gonna. Especially my age. Oh my gosh. 'Cause again, the whole all or nothing. I would want to do what I used to do, and That would end up with me in all sorts of trouble. I'm trying to keep my neck down here, so I always think it's gross to watch a video and the blood starts mixing with the soap. And I'm just trying to now, all I got down here is under the Adam's apple. I'm trying to negotiate how I can still shave that, pull it to the sides a little bit. There we go. All right. So we'll see. This is still a winner if I don't get any alum sting anywhere but that cut. Well, but the other thing I was thinking of, I'm sure it's been around a long time, but I've only heard it recently myself. Oh, I don't want to dry off yet. I need a wet face for the alum. Yeah, I forget. I get the gist of the saying. Ooh, get it. Pain and weakness leaving the body. Go. A calm ocean never created an experienced captain, something like that. Basically, like, to learn and push yourself past what you already know and stuff like that. You need some adversity. You need to deal with things you haven't dealt with before. Anyway, yeah, I'm blowing things up bigger than they need to be. I just cut myself with a razor, but I'm allowed to be philosophical about it. Oh, this will be good. I'll probably get some eye rolls from the cadre bunch. But if you're not on the cadre, one of the things I posted, so I've talked about this with wine, where I just gonna get up in my head. Hold on, gotta rinse off the alum. I was mentioning I was making coffee at work. I've got a whole process. I use a knockoff AeroPress. I have coffee beans at work. I've got a scale. I measure out the right amount of coffee beans and I put them in like a hand grinder. Grind them, so it's fresh coffee. So I was sitting there grinding these beans that I bought. Doesn't matter where I got them, like a micro lot from one specific producer, and then on the bag it says like what country, what do you call those things? Orchard? That's not orchard, is it? Field? What do you call them? Anyway, how it was processed, all this stuff. Almost got it stopped just with the alum there. And I was sitting there thinking about the dudes and ladies, the folks that had to plant the coffee plants. Again, this is micro lot stuff, so it's not in some big, huge commercial thing. It's just one guy's little area. And think about somebody having to plant the coffee plants. Somebody probably has to weed the areas. I don't know, they got to tend them until they're ripe. And somebody's got to pick the berries, and then you do something to get the skins off the berries, right? And then you got to dry them. You got to package them up. They got to be put on some cargo ship and shipped wherever. These were already roasted, so somebody's got to roast them and then package them up into smaller things and then ship them out. Just like all the people involved, which came down to me measuring out, what did I do, 17 ounces? 17 grams of, show you the old two, coffee beans, and then I'm grinding them there in my office in the Bay Area, California. To stick them in a thing, to pour super hot water on it, let them soak for 25 seconds. These beans that have been through this huge process, traveled all over the place, through all of these hands, all these people doing their part in it, to be used for 25 seconds, then dumped in the trash for my cup of coffee. I think that's pretty cool to think about that stuff. Again, I don't know what brought that up. I shared it on the cadre. No, nobody was like, yeah, I think about that stuff all the time. But I like to think about that from time to time. I think it gives me more meaning anyway of what I'm having. That, wine, all the process that go into that, and roll a nice cigar that, has been hand picked, and they stretch out and they're picking individual leaves and rolled and ate. I mean, sometimes it's pretty incredible to think about what goes into what you're finally enjoying. Anyway, I think it's going to be all right. Tomorrow is going to be fine. So I use the hipster stuff for the first time. Let me see if I can, again, this is the Nurse Dave channel. We don't do any prep work, so I didn't look up the notes of this. And all I can tell you is, I don't know why it's hipster, unless it's got a little bit of patchouli on the back end, but it's far enough back that it's not driving me nuts. But I would say it's a fresh scent. I think linen. I think soap. But it's a stronger linen. It's not like what do you call those bags? Burlap. It's not like burlap. It's not earthy like that. But anyway, it's more linen-y scent to me than anything. Whew. So there you go. It'll be interesting to see how this dries down. I figure at the worst, if this doesn't stick around, it's a fairly neutralish scent that we'll be able to layer with other stuff anyway. Anyway, there we go. Look at that excitement for you. There's a car crash on the road. Hope you're going to have a good Friday, good weekend. I'll probably see you again, and I'll for sure see you on the forums.